Hare Krishna. So we were seeing nectar of instruction. So just to revise a bit, nectar of instruction is written by whom? Rupa Goswami. So 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, you should know. They're saying. So what is the importance of Goswami's literature? It helps us to understand the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? To understand the science of Krishna. And the most exalted pastimes of Krishna are pastimes with the gopis. So how can we understand this? By reading, by coming in contact with the scriptures written by Goswami, because Goswamis know the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Srimati Radharani, who is the best of the gopis. And that's why we can understand the transcendental loving affair between Radha and Krishna, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is both Krishna and Radha. And we have seen Rupa Goswami is a direct disciple and intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the leader of 6 Goswamis, and we are Rupanugas. So in the devotional service, our advancement is dependent on what? Our attitude, how we take up to the process. If we follow these instructions given in Upadeshamrut, then very strictly, then we can, from neophyte stage, we can one day become Uttama Bhakta. 9 stages of development of bhakti. The Shraddha, Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prem. So last time we have come till, I think, we have discussed everything? Everything, yes. Okay. So our initial faith is very fragile. By any different philosophies, it can be destroyed and we can leave Krishna consciousness. That's why we have to do strong association of devotees. We should have a strong association of devotees, which will give us bhajan kriya, impetus in doing bhajan kriya. Bhajan kriya means all we hearing, chanting and reading. And with that, what will happen? Our anarthas will be removed. Cleansing of heart. So we are doing some revision. You can join. So anartha nivritti is directly proportional to how we are doing bhajan kriya, how intensely we are doing bhajan kriya. In that intention, in that intensity, our heart will be cleansed of anartha. And then this fragile faith will become steady. That is called nishtha stage. So in nishtha stage, what we have discussed, first thing is, he will have such a strong faith that whatever philosophies, debates will happen, he may sometimes be defeated by the opponents, but still he will not give up the process. So these particular 9 stages of development will take in the entire NOI. In each verses which will come in the course, we will add up the characteristics of each and every stage. What is the so 3 stages, 3 types of devotees are there: neophyte, madhyama, and uttama. So who stands in which stage and what are their characteristics? So these are going to be discussed entirely in nine verses. So be in touch. So nishtha, and then still with intensity we do devotional service. Then one day, what will happen? We'll get a taste, a ruchi in what we are doing. We will not be having, I mean, we will not require any push by anybody. No YouTube inspiration videos will be required. People get up just before getting up, getting out of bed, they need inspiration. Otherwise, they snooze their alarm. The first thing is inspiration, whether should I get up or not, or continue. So that will not happen in the Ruchi stage, where we'll even plan one day before night that, oh, I have to get up at early in the morning because I have Mangalarati, like that. So, and then that will become Asakti. Asakti is the stage where we won't be able to live without doing these activities, chanting, hearing, reading. Also, Vaidhi Bhakti we'll discuss in second verse will come. I will discuss all the steps of Vaidhi Bhakti. And in previous years, like in 1990s, have you seen there was a recording system which we used to have. CDs, in 9 CDs you can put, and then with remote you can have different CDs. If you are bored by Shastriya Sangeet, then disco, like that. You can do that. So similarly, if you are doing hearing, and then you got bored, then chant. If you are chanting boring, then okay, associate with devotees. Serve, remember, learn prarthana, like that. You can do 24 hours the same bhakti. Then that will put us in a bhava stage, which is as if you are in the material world, but you will long for the association of Krishna in the spiritual world. And then ultimately, prema means such a strong faith. The same faith will turn into the prema, strong faith without any trace of material anarthas. Anarthas in the sense, any attachment to material things, relations. So that is a final stage, which is a prema. So we have seen Shraddha is discussed in first 3 verses, Sadhu Sangha in next 4, 5, 6. Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi in text 7, Asakti in text 8, Bhav and Prem 9 to 12. Like that. So, first verse says about how to control mind and senses. What are the don'ts what are the unfavorable things in the Krishna consciousness? Don'ts in second verse, third. Do's, 6 loving exchanges between devotees, 4 dealings with different types of devotees. While associating with devotees, what are the prescriptions? What are the things we should avoid that are told in 6? Anything you want to say? 7th is glories of holy name, and 8th, meditation on Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastime. We will see text 9 to 12 whether we have to take or not. That is Raganuga Bhakti. So till 8 we have that is Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means Sadhana Bhakti, where we are doing bhakti, and we are under control of rules and regulations given by our Guru. There is no spontaneity in our bhakti. So, revision of verse 1. Can we recite together? Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivha vegam, udara upastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishaheta dhira, sarvan abhiman prithvim sashishya. So there are 6 urges, that is, urge to speak, urges of mind, urge of anger, and then tongue, belly, genitals. So we have started discussing this. So there are 3 types of intelligence. What are they? First is just by hearing and learning from the superior that such things should not be done or such things should be done, we understand, we have to do it. What is second kind of intelligence? They hear it, they see it, but they said, I want my personal experience. And then they understand, oh, I should have not done that. And third class intelligence is experience, that is the same thing. So that is compared to which kind of elephant bathing. Can you explain elephant bathing? One you half thing you can explain.
They take bath in river and again come back in the
Sure, and what they do?
Sand again.
They put again sand on the body. So what is it means by what it compares to in bhakti?
So chanting, do things that are
Sinful activities. So many sinful activities we undergo, we perform, but in bhakti, what we say, oh, Nam will take care. Harinam is so powerful that it can destroy the past millions or billions of sinful activities we might have done. All the reactions are taken care by holy name. So actually, when we are initially in Krishna consciousness, when we approach Krishna, before accepting us, he says, okay, for our free passage in bhakti, the previous burden of this sinful reaction he removes. And if you are loaded with suppose 100 kg, will you able to walk? No, but if that is removed, then we will be freely walk. But as we perform bhakti and then do the same activity, what will happen? The same burden will be shifted to our head again. Then we say, I am doing bhakti, and now again problems are coming. So Krishna says what? Our attitude to the process. And again we are, so Namno, what is that? So what? Namno Baladyasya hi Papa Buddhi. So what is that? What does it means? That committing sins on the strength of the holy name. That is the biggest offense against the holy name. So that we have to be very careful. But generally people, I mean, outside world, we see 99.9 Prabhupada says that people are like this. So they go to their spiritual place, they say, oh, I have done this, and give me some atonement, and after that again they do that. That is not that is the elephant's bathing. That will not give us a substantial taste in bhakti. We will be doing things, but again we will say, "Arey, usme maza nahi hai." I mean, in the sense what we were saying, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So there is where is the happiness? But that depends on us, how we perform bhakti. So real atonement we are saying. So the atonements which we do and then again we perform commit, that is not a real atonement. What is real atonement? Prayaschitta. So our all purpose to do bhakti devotional services, how can I be connected to Krishna? How can I please Krishna? By doing whichever activity is given to us. Whatever we are doing, we should be in that consciousness. To come to the real knowledge, that is the standard process. Okay. So there are two processes to come to this stage. First is Vedic method, and there is a Vaishnava method. Vedic method we have seen altogether there are many restrictions. Practicing austerity, celibacy, controlling mind senses, giving charity, truthfulness, cleanliness, etc., etc. But Rupa Goswami, he suggests us what? Vaidhi Bhakti. So chant Hare Krishna in the association of pure devotees and follow the regulative principles under the instructions of spiritual master. That is important. We cannot do bhakti alone and progress. We have to have a association of pure devotees. And while doing this, Yama Niyama, we should be actively engaging in the service of Supreme Lord. This is the process recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami. So we have seen yesterday Vacho Vegam last time. So Vacho Vegam, what is the problem? So the examples are Prabhupada has given that there are three people, Mayavadi philosophers. So how many of you have understood the difference between Mayavadi and Bhakta or Vaishnava? Does anybody here can explain? Or you have any doubts or you have some confusion? Mayavadi, what is Mayavadi? Materialistic people are different. What is Mayavadi?
They are different. Day to day life.
No, I think they preach only about uh, what they feel is right.
No, okay.
Oneness with the God.
So we'll take this today. Very important topic. It will come in all. In Gita we'll discuss it deeply. So understand, Lord, absolute truth is understood by different type of people in different levels. The first level, the Parama Satya means absolute truth. The first level is Lord's energy in the sense the Teja means his effulgence. So the Mayavadis, they get attracted to that effulgence of the Lord, which is beyond this universe. And they say, oh, that is, the body which we have is a restriction to the soul, to us. And when we give up the body, we will go out of this universe and there is no body. So there is no requirement of God and anything. So that is Mayavadi. So they will follow all these restrictions, which we have discussed in a Vedic method. All charity, austerity, everything. But their goal is to be alone. Aham Brahmasmi, that's it. So actually, this is the first stage of realization of the God realization. Absolute truth, realizing of absolute truth. Beyond that, there is a Paramatma level, which is, the person says, by Dhyana Yoga, they understand that Lord is in the heart of every living entity. What to speak of every living entity? He is in the atom also. The place in between two atoms, there is also a Paramatma. So he is all pervading Paramatma. That is the second stage to understand, to realize the absolute truth. Third level is to understand the Lord is a person, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, who has an effulgence which is distributed everywhere, and he has chosen to be with all living entities. That's why he is in everybody's heart as a Paramatma. So that is the highest level of understanding spiritual absolute truth. So now we will come. So first Mayavadis and Brahmavadi. Now we'll come to this stage. Mayavadi, Brahmavadi, there are two people, two kind of understandings. The people have philosophy. Both of them are happy with effulgence of the Lord. They have no knowledge about Paramatma and Bhagavan. But Mayavadis, they say that actually Lord, the absolute truth is effulgence, and through effulgence, absolute truth takes body like human body and comes to this world. So that is offensive to the Lord, because Lord is completely spirit. Satchidananda Vigraha. How can he take a material body? So that's why Mayavad. Mayavad is compared by Prabhupada many times like if you want to go to the first floor, suppose. So you need what? Ladder. You use the ladder, you go to first floor, then you need ladder, you throw it. Similarly, Mayavad is what they do to achieve the first realization of Lord. Then the required guru. Any progress, there is no progress in spiritual life unless you have a spiritual master. But once they realize, they say, now we are same, Guru and Sri, Namo Narayana, all we are all Narayana. That is offensive, because Guru remains always Guru, whether we are now in a conditioned stage or a liberated stage. Guru remains a Guru, respectful. Understand? So that is, but the Brahmavadis are those, they have no knowledge, but they don't have any offensive attitude towards absolute truth. They just have no knowledge. Examples are Shukdev Goswami. Knowledge in the sense they don't go beyond that. So Shukdev Goswami, before becoming a bhakta, he was like a Brahmavadi, Aham Brahmasmi. He has no attachment to any spiritual, um, spiritual thing. The material things. He was spiritually satisfied. So he refused to come out of the womb of his mother. Arrogant. So that is Brahmavadi. And Chatushkumar. Chatushkumar is four sons of Brahma. They are in the Brahmavadi stage. But when they came in contact with devotees, they both became pure bhakta. Sukdev Goswami was taught by his father, Vyasdev, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then he became pure bhakta. Bhagwan realization came. Chatush Kumar directly went to Vaikuntha, and directly Lord Vishnu gave them mercy. So they became bhakta. So Brahmavadi, Mayavadis are offensive. So they again come back. They have to fall back to material world. So this we have to understand. So what we are now, we will not go in details about these three levels of absolute truth now here. But what we are understanding here is all the philosophy of Mayavadis comes in a croaking of frog, compared to croaking of frog. What? Because that doesn't give us a permanent success. All this, even Paramatma stage, now we'll not go into detail, but Mayavadi is just like Bhagavatam says, Aryuha Krishrena Param Padam Tataha Patanti Adho Anadruta Yusmat Angraya. In the sense, you go just like a Ferris wheel. Have you seen that? You go up and again come back. Similarly, they achieve a stage where they can be detached with all material things, but again they get attached to that because there is no knowledge of Krishna, and soul cannot live without service. So soul, if he becomes detached with all material things, then he has to serve Krishna because he won't be serving any material person. But there is no service, so they have to fall back. Again, they have a material desire. Then they come and then do philanthropic activities, welfare activities, so on and so forth. So that's why it is said here that Vacho Vegam. So we are just revising only. We are now in the Vacho Vegam, first phase. So examples of Vacho Vegam is the urge to speak, which is asking snakes or death, is Mayavadi speaking of Mayavadi philosophy. Karma Kandis. Karma Kandis are those who wish to go to Swarga and you also live here. And just for my sake, I'll be happy, I'll be comfortable. So people talk, "Arey, udhar bahut acha flat mil raha hai." Entirely this life and how can I be perfect and like that. This is karma kandi. And karma kandi and actually means to go to Swarga. They do karma kanda activities. There are so many Vedic sacrifices given. With that, they wish to go to Swarga and enjoy. That is karma kandi. And below that is sense enjoyers, like materialistic person, which have nothing to do with God. They are engrossed 24 hours in merrymaking, in the sense how to do party, picnic, and so and so. All these talks are problematic for a human being because he will again have to take birth. So what to do? So we have seen that is croaking of frog. Solution is not Mauna, because Mauna will, for some time, it will give us a relief, but ultimately it will be failure, right? So that is the improper way. Proper way is divert our talking subject only to Krishna Katha. That is the way. How to do devotional service, how to preach, this should be our talk. Mind has a problem that mind is restless and always going from here and there. So it is a trouble. Now, right now in Kali Yuga, what is the biggest problem? That is mental. Yeah, mental problem, Although having so many things to enjoy, people are miserable because Previously,
happy.
we used to have a one channel. Now there are hundreds, thousands of channels. So what to see? That is the problem. But we cannot negate, uh, you know, mind that okay, let me have no thought. It will never happen. So, and we cannot keep ourselves idle because from millions of lifetimes we have so many desires in pending. They will keep popping in your mind. So idle mind is devil's worship. Worship. चलता रहेगा cooking. क्या करना है क्या करना है. So solution is meditate on Krishna because Krishna सूर्य सम माया है अंधकार. जहाँ सूर्य तहाँ नहीं माया अधिकार. So wherever there is a Surya, the sun, there won't be a darkness. Similarly, when we think about Krishna, then Maya will not Maya will not have any effect on that because you are Krishna conscious. So either there is either Krishna or Maya. There is nothing other than that. Either you are Krishna conscious or Maya conscious. So these things, this is the only thing we can control, the mind. Now we'll see the Krodha also we have seen that Krodha cannot be stopped altogether. We have seen as soon as you become angry, either you will blast someone or if you control it, in some problem will come in your body. So I mean, Shastra says that somebody is angry on Krishna. I mean, somebody blasphemes Krishna or devotees then take action. So three people we have seen, three examples. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also became angry when Jagamada hit on Nityananda. Hanumanji with anger burnt Lanka and Arjuna also. So best is in Kali Yuga, don't become angry because as anger, that is a step in the sense we understand who we are, where we are, and how to be best, how to use best this knowledge for our betterment. Otherwise, if you have just knowledge on an intellectual platform, but you are not implementing it, it is also useless. Just like, don't become angry. And if somebody ever, why are you doing this? I mean, so knowledge should percolate in our actions, our behavior, our relationships. So best is you should not become angry. So there are many things in Gita will see that how to control anger by on intellectual level and how see, oh, he's a maybe carrier of my past karma or so and so forth. We'll see that. So these are the anger stage. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that why anger comes because there is a avirodha priti in the sense people are doing people have so many attachments, unrestricted attachments, and that's why it creates avirodha priti. Virod means there is a virod, there is a problem, there is a impediments. Avirod means there is no impediment, and priti means the attachment. So with that, people, the Mayavadi's philosophy is the one example, and believe in karma kandi and then sense gratitude. So people have so much faith in these three kind of philosophy that will give us a happiness. That's why it is said avirodha priti, unrestricted attachment. If you tell them, don't do this, they will never listen to us. That's why preaching is very difficult. Again. And virod yukta krodh means with that attachment, if they approach and they don't get satisfaction, then what happens? Out of frustration, they will become angry. So virod yukta krodh because of unfulfilled desires. So this is also urge of mind. Manas Vegam. Jiva Vegam we have seen last time?
No.
So we'll start today. So Jiva Vegam. So Jiva has two aspects. First is speaking vacha and second is taste, tongue. So tongue. So what is the problem? We see that everybody has this particular habit, if you see, even in train, if you see some pakoda वगैरह, तो immediately अरे चलो अरे इसमें कांदा है, but still that taste, the smell, what it does, it creates vague. We are talking about vague. So vague is something, you see, the vague cannot be stopped by some kind of normal process. In the sense, vague means it will destroy, isn't it? Flood, this is vague. So these all six Vegas are such way in such forces which are detrimental to our progress in devotional service. That's why we are discussing it as a first instruction. In that, tongue is so powerful sense that it has two problems: vacha and taste. Both are very powerful. If you don't have any association of devotees, then we may eat outside food, isn't it? Isne dekha. It's so much, and that is a force. So eat palatable dishes in restaurants and sweetmeat shops. Unoffered food, that is a problem. Eating at unscheduled time, that is also a problem for our tongue. If if you go by Ayurveda, you should have a restricted time. At one time, if you are eating, if you regularly do that, then you will be healthy. But आज 10 बजे खा रहे कब 12 बजे 1 बजे. If you have a unscheduled time for eating, then it will create in a long term so many diseases. So that's also a problem for a tongue. And in a deeper way, we see that when we become a devotee, then we are told that we should have a prasad. The solution is we should eat prasad. But even if we eat prasad, we think, I like bhav. Suppose pav bhaji. Chalo, aaj pav bhaji bana do. And then, like in one temple I visited, there was a cook. He was on a paid basis. So whenever I used to go, he used to make flour sabji. And then I asked long back, how many times he makes? So he said, in a week, 4 or 5 times he makes flour only. Because he liked flour.
Oh my.
Yes, that is a problem. I mean, the problem in the sense that will not be a good practice for a devotee. Just because I like something, I cook and offer it, and then I'll enjoy. But the basic tendency is I want to enjoy. And what is our main process is to give pleasure to Krishna. So best practice is in devotional life, even if you are hungry, and if you suppose the offering has to be done, eat purana roti. Suppose subah ka roti kha do, because while offering we say jaldi kha lo. Like that may come. So when you offer something to Krishna, we should not have a desire to enjoy it. So there are various things. So this is also a problem. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that one also thing is for a vairagi is to go to rich person's house with the idea to eat rich food. Chalo. That is also a problem. Diva Vegam. That will also be a problem in the long run. Because we have to control these urges and focus on Krishna. Otherwise time will go. So eat only prasad, then again restriction comes. The higher refined stage is what? Prasad should be, the ingredient should be brought or bought, basically, brought and bought by Krishna, by devotee. Which the earning should be with the legal way. So, in a very refined way. So legal money, devotee should buy, devotee should cut, devotee should cook, devotee should offer, and devotee should serve. In that way, because in every stage, if a non-devotee comes, then his bhav may enter into that. It is higher. As far as possible, we should strictly follow this. But in Kali Yuga, it is not always possible. When we are traveling, so many people come. And for preaching purpose, we have to do so many things. Somebody, some newcomer says some after something. We have to take for his. Otherwise, he won't accept your instructions like that. So, and then actually fasting comes in belly. Like we have a problem that tongue, belly, genital. These are also the Vegas. So belly wants. So many times it happens that हमारा पेट भर जाता है, but मन नहीं भरा. Then keep eating, and then what happens? We have a stomach problem. So we should have fasting, regular fasting, ekadasi, and then janmas and so on and so forth. So the belly problem is belly vega is controlled. So the two are combined together here. And urges of genitals. So it is said that unnecessary involvement should be stopped. And Shastra says that it should be used only for begetting Krishna conscious children. That is the way. Otherwise, thinking, planning, this all comes under sinful activities. If a devotee strictly follows the rules and regulations, and slowly take shelter of Krishna, serve devotees, and with body, mind, and soul, see that these instructions are for my betterment, then he can become a Goswami. In the sense, he can control that. So many dishes are there, but he won't be allured, so on and so forth. And then with that mindset, he can serve Krishna. Otherwise, many times what happens, even in service, our plan is, मेरा क्या होगा, मुझे कब प्रसाद मिलेगा, और why I am standing here, why I am serving. तो कोई बाकी सब बैठ के सेवा कर रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं और so on. So we always think about our comfort, ourselves, because these forces are pulling us here and there. So you control. Otherwise, we become Godas. That is servant of senses. One person was there, he said that he was so addicted to movies that he used to come to temple. And when you see, Are, itna bada pustak, so automatically he used to enter the theater. Because first day, first to dekhna hi padega. So what happens? I'm giving one example. I mean, any senses. To become servant of the senses, so Godas or Goswami. So Godas cannot serve Krishna. Only Goswamis can serve Krishna. In the sense, fully. Now we are serving because we are under the purification process. We have purified in little way, but still we are serving because there is no other process of becoming pure in Krishna consciousness. I mean, other than taking this, chanting and hearing now. Otherwise, what people do, okay, in bhakti, I am not getting any, I want to have progress in bhakti, then we'll have to do Vedic. They take shelter of what? Vedic method. You getting? So, in doing bhakti, so many situations will come when we will be doing offenses, offenses happen, then what happens? We don't get taste. There is abhi kya karne ka? There is only one process, chant only, serve only. There is no other thing like that, other than Krishna conscious activity. Okay? So, ultimately, progress means we have to control this Vega. There is no option. Thoda और कुछ method है क्या? There is no other way. So text 1 recommends that we give up the service of the senses and start to serve Supreme Lord Krishna. So directly, if you can't serve Krishna right now, serve a pure devotee, Guru. So whatever Guru says, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chittete Karayakya, Aikya. So whatever he says, we do, then we are eligible to come to the stage where, oh, whatever Krishna says, then I'll do. Krishna says, how can I believe you? You have left me and you came here. Now you say suddenly, oh, I am surrendered unto you, Krishna. Take me back. He says, no, show me how you are surrendered. My representative is there. Follow him completely. So yasya prasadat bhagavad prasad. So if we please Guru, automatically Krishna will be pleased. So that is the way, only way. So Prabhupada in the last paragraph says, Matirna Krishna Paratasvato Va. Prahlad Maharaj, he quotes Prahlad Maharaj. That those were materialistic people. However, materialistic people mean Godas. So Matir, their Matir in the sense, their intelligence. Matir na Krishna. They will never ever come to Krishna. Why? Even though Paratasvatova, if you preach to them, if by themselves they read or try to understand, or miso in the sense both together, efforts of both of us, I mean preacher or themselves, they will never come to Krishna. Why? Because abhipatteta graha vratana. They have taken vrata of graha. Graha in the sense family and so forth. My family is my vrata. I have to provide for them. I want to enjoy. That's it. Adanta Gobhir Vishatam Tamishram. So Gruha, Medhi and Grahastha will discuss later. So Grahastha is the devotee who has a family, but his center is Krishna. Gruha Medhi means he has a family, but he says, I am the boss. Center is me. I am providing to everybody. So I am the center of everybody. So Gruha Medhi is one who comes in this category, Godas. So his intelligence will never come to Krishna, and he will go to Graha. Medhi means an andhakup. Andhakup means the dry well, I mean, which is full of darkness. If you fall in a well which is dark, what will happen? There is no possibility of coming out. That is punas sarvita charanana. So Godas are those who do same activity like we have discussed, third kind of intelligence. Doing again and again the same activity.
Like a wheel.
Ferris wheel. Not Ferris wheel you have taken for the Swarga and the Brahma, the Mayavadi people. Punaspurata Charita Nam means the chewing the chewed.
Okay.
Chewing the chewed is,
Like a chewing gum,
Uh-huh.
keep on.
Have you if suppose there are the sugar cane juice has been taken, then sugar cane is thrown. But the cows, they chew that.
Yes.
There is no juice in that.
But they keep on chewing.
Again, so similarly, doing the same activities of Graha Medhi activity, where there is no Krishna, they perceive that we will get happiness next year or maybe in future, in next activity, but they will no sense gratification, no activity. I mean, the senses coming in contact with sense objects, we have never ever given any soul happiness yet, because that is not the way of souls getting happiness. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevana Bhakti Ruchi. So all the senses will be fully happy or maybe fully purified or fully satisfied only when they are in connection with Rishikesh, the one who is master of all the senses. So Rishika is senses. But if Rishika is in contact with the sense objects, then what will the result? Misery, dukkha. But Godas will never understand. He says, next time I'll get happy. Like that. So this is the first verse, which is the goal of a neophyte person. I will go for the second verse. verse 2 says, if you want to progress in devotional service, then what we have to do? Repeat after me. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya laulyam cha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Repeat.
Atyahara prayasastach
Atyahara prayasascha
Onimagraha
prajalpo niyamagraha
Janasangascha Langascha
janasangasya laulyascha
Jadabhir Bhakti Vinashyati.
shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Okay, so these are the 6 unfavorable activities. First is atyahara. Atyahara means eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. That comes in atyahara. Each and every activity will be discussed in detail. Prayasa is over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Prayasa. In the sense, just like we are, suppose you are getting easily 10,000 rupees, but 1 crore I want. Will it come easily? You have to do prayas. Prajalpa is talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matter. Niyam agraha. So niyam agraha, so it is a combination of 2 words, niyama and agraha. So agraha and agraha, this if we connect it with niyam, then 2 meanings. So niyam agraha is what? Practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them. चलो बोला है जो सुबह उठो तो करो, but there is no heart in it. No absorption. Guru said, oh, I have to make a pee. Counselor will not recommend me for initiation. So just for the name's sake, go for Mangala. You know what? That comes in the name Agraha. Chant Hare Krishna. But just to finish that 16 counting. Okay, but there is no heart in it. Neither you have heard any mantra. That comes in Niyam Agraha, practicing for the sake of practice, or not for the sake of spiritual advance. In the sense, no mind in it, no absorption in it. Or Niyam Agraha. Agraha comes in rejecting the rules and regulations and working independently or whimsically. That is called Niyam Agraha. These are all unfavorable activities. Will not progress. Jana Sangha means associating with worldly minded persons. Who are the worldly minded people? So do we have any category discussed today or last time?
Family.
Just now we discussed Mayavadi was
Brahmavan.
Brahmavadi, Karma Kandi and sense enjoy. I mean, you can say materialist. Materialist is everything comes. Okay? There are Janasanga. And Laulyam is being greedy for mundane achievement. So these 6 activities are unfavorable for devotional service. So Prabhupada starts the purport with giving us the entire understanding about the what is spiritual world, what is material world. So Krishna has primarily 3 potencies, 3 energies. First is Antaranga Shakti, internal potency, that is handled by Srimati Radharani. So what is that? It is in the spiritual world. It has a very internal potency in the spiritual world. We souls comes under Tatastha Shakti, marginal potency. We have desire. I mean, we have desire. If we have desire, we can go into internal potency, or we can take shelter of Bahiranga Shakti, that is external potency, that is this spiritual, this material world, which is predominated by Durga Devi Mahamaya. What is the business of Durga Devi? I mean Mahamaya. To put us under 3
Modes.
modes, Rajo, Sattva and Tamaguna. These are the three, I mean, the gunas, that's why she is called Three Gunamayi Mahamaya. So we all are under these three gunas. Some are more in Sattva Guna or Rajaguna or maybe Tamaguna, but we are bound by this. They are like a ropes. So we are restricted to go into an internal potency by these ropes. So these are the three potencies. So if we take shelter of Mahamaya, then we are in Bhairanga Shakti. If we take shelter of internal potencies, then we are in spiritual world. Now, although we are in the spiritual body, still we have this option. Even in with this body, if we take shelter of process of, this bhakti is none other than internal potency. Then even with this body, we are in Antaranga Shakti. In the sense, we will get taste of devotional service. We will have an understanding, or we will have the same realization of being with Krishna in spiritual world. That means we have to achieve that little faith to prema. If we achieve prema within this body, then we are in Antaranga, with Antaranga Shakti. Right? But if we are not, then we are in we are in Maya. So that's how the people are differentiated. So there are only two people, Mahatmas and Duratmas. So Mahatmas are those who are under spiritual potency, internal potency. Duratmas are under control of Mahamaya. So Mahatmas, there are a few characteristics of Mahatmas which are exactly opposite to Duratmas. So we will see. So Mahatmas are those who are broad-minded. So there is a verse in page number 18. What Mahatmas do? Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti ashrita. Daivim prakriti means internal potency. They always take shelter of internal potency. And what they do with that? Bhajanti ananya manaso. Gyatva bhutadi mabhyam. They are always doing which kind of activities? That pleases Krishna always. What do Duratma do? They do all sense gratification activities. That means family, community, nation, or so and so forth. But it is like personal sense gratification or extended sense gratification. Because there is no Krishna in center. So that's why they are categorized like a cripple-minded. Why? Because they are using Krishna's property for their own enjoyment without giving any credit to Krishna. But Mahatmas know that we cannot even survive without Krishna's supervision, Krishna's maintenance, Krishna's mercy. So that's why they are always blissful. If we, actually they take shelter then only, for not namesake. We have already seen. If Duratma, what they do? Because they are doing only sense gratificatory activities. That's why they are in the Mahamaya. Mahamaya, what she does? Trishul is there. That's why Trishul, if you are poked with Trishul, you will be happy. What will be you will be miserable. So they are always under threefold misery. So timing will go.
Stands for the threefold miseries, right?
Sorry?
Trishul stands for the
Threefold miseries and three gunas also. So the threefold miseries are Adi, Daivik Kleshas. So what are Adi Daivik Kleshas? Daivik means demigods, given by them. In the sense, what are demigods? Under these energies, three energies, where they stand? Internal, Tatastha and Bhairanga Shakti, where they stand? Bhairanga, internal, anything? We have one only remaining. They are Tatastha only. Anybody who is in the Brahmanda, they are what? They're Tadasakti. And everybody is under Maya, I mean Durga Devi, who is the superintendent of this Brahmanda. Are you getting me? But still they are higher, they are powerful people appointed by Krishna. That's why they can do this. I mean, there are droughts, earthquakes, storms, floods. These are the kleshas which we undergo. That's why it is Adi Daivika Klesh. Adi Bhautika Klesh is suffering caused by other living entities, insects, mosquitoes, or so many enemies which we create.
Human beings also.
Obviously, enemies means human beings. Sometimes they say my husband or wife, isn't it? That is Adi Bhauti. You know, many times it is he or she snores. That is a klesha. In which, under which klesha? Adi Bhautika Klesha. बहुत खाता है, so I have to cook, and so many things. So enemies, neighbors, insects, these are all adi bhautik klesh. Adhyatmic klesh is suffering caused by our own body and mind, just like our mobiles. We are taking shelter of mobile. That's why what is happening?
Mental stress.
Yes. So this is caused by this is our adhyatmika klesh. So duratmas, they are always under this threefold miseries. So Mahatma's activities are actually helpful for them to progress in devotional service. But Duratma's activities, with each activity, they are perpetually making their future bodies. You understand one thing, if we are not, even if we are devotee, and we are not utilizing time in Krishna consciousness and wasting time or doing any other activities, what will happen? We are actually with each desire, we are creating new body, because that desire will be unfulfilled, and with all unfulfilled desires, we will have to take birth. Or if we have done some activity, I mean non-devotional activity, then again we will have some reaction. For that also we have to take body. So Papa and Punya, both we have to nullify by doing akarma. Akarma is, this concept we will do in, we'll see in Bhagavad Gita, that our activities should be related with Krishna. Otherwise, what will happen? We are degrading ourselves. So Duratma perpetually, they have no spiritual activity. That means all activities are for degradation. So Duratmas are examples are, will be surprised. Gyanis, karmis, philanthropists. Why they are in this category? They are not like the demon's teeth. That's why they are Duratma. You know, Duratma don't have a picture that Mahatma means Tilak and Duratma means having a red hair and something like that. No, it's an activity. He must be looking very, he may be looking demigod, but activities are like that. That is not anyway beneficial for him, because he'll have to come back. Because Bahiranga Shakti is there. These are all activities are under Bahiranga Shakti. Bahiranga Shakti means Maya, again come back. Internal potency, if you take shelter, then there is no way he will come back. So that's why Mahatma Tumam Partha Daivim Prakriti Mashrata. Always in internal potency. What they do, they don't sleep in that ashray. Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. Bhajanti means perform activities of devotional service, devotional activities. Okay. So that way, it will be helpful for us. Next, Atyahar will see in detail. First thing, so Prabhupada write, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required is Atyahar. Why this happen? This happens because we have excessive greed. and we have no faith in Krishna that he will provide to us. So Prabhupada gives an example of bag of rice. If a bag of rice, if you find it on a road, what will happen? Suppose parrot comes or some chidiya comes. What will they do? They will not come with the bag. Chota bag, chalo collect it. They will eat whatever they need and they'll fly. But if a human being sees, what he'll do? Well, he doesn't have a faith that Krishna will provide tomorrow. Even birds have faith. So excessive greed, of course, this is for me only. So that is Atyaha. Ideally, in Satyuga, people would never hoard. I mean, at least sannyasis and brahmanas. Today, what they have achieved through begging, that's it. Whatever extra they would do, charity. Because they have faith, another, again tomorrow I will give. My dharma is, whatever is truly needed to keep my body and soul together, I accept. And fully all remaining time I utilize for my sadhana. But today what is happening? Entire portion of day is utilized for how can I keep extra for my future, and the remaining time japa, sadhana. In fact, our bhakti ends when our 16 rounds are over, mostly. So that is the first one thing. And Prabhupada writes that misuse of higher intelligence. So among all 84 lakh species of life, humans have given higher intelligence to know that this eating, mating, defending, this is not the thing which you should do. Your higher intelligence to come out of this birth, death, old age and disease. Are you getting me? So, not caring for these things, if we act on an animal platform, then there is no difference. So there is the word that ahar nidra bhayam etunam cham samanyam etat pasubhir narana. So all these activities are done by Pashu and Nara same. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesh. Only humans have given this higher intelligence to understand what is his actual dharma kartavya. Dharmena hina pasubhi samana. If we don't act with that dharma, then we are like a animals only. So not caring for God realization with the misuse of our higher intelligence, Prabhupada writes, people are producing so many factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, liquor shops for enjoyment and then future enjoyment. And the intelligence is used that how can I use my intelligence to have a comfortable life? Like we don't wash now our clothes by hand. The washing machines are needed. Everything is automatic. So utilizing the intelligence to get more than necessary and simply to satisfy the senses. So tongue and so and so. And again, one page 27, there is example of $100 bill. What is the can somebody read that? Page 27. This is higher understanding than bag of rice. Right. What happened? इसका टाइम हो गया लगता है. You can hear me, no? Without this, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Maybe they may not. They in the sense recording.
Recording.
थोड़ा सा इसको चार्जिंग नहीं किया बराबर. You read 27, na?
Yes.
So, if $100 bill, what? I mean, have you got that?
Yes.
Capitalist and communist. So, read Umesh Prabhu.
If $100 bill is lying on the street, someone may pick it up and put it in his pocket.
First thing. So, who is he? Capitalist. So, if he gets 100 bill, what he will do?
Put in his pocket.
Second.
Such a man is not honest. Another man may see the money and decide to let it remain there, thinking that he should not touch another's property.
Who is he? I mean, basically, he says, okay, we can, I mean, communists could say, okay, we should distribute, we should share, we should share the property. So, and read.
The third man who sees the $100 bill may pick it up, find the man who lost it and deliver it to him.
Yes. So, third person, read entirely.
The third man who sees the $100 bill may pick it up, find the man who lost it and deliver it to him. This man does not steal the money to spend for himself, nor does he neglect it and let it lie in the street.
So, there are two people, capitalist and communist. Both of them have same understanding to utilize that 100 bill for either for himself or for the community. But they don't understand this is the property of Krishna. It should be utilized for Lord's pleasure. So that's why Prabhupada writes, both are thieves, capitalists or communists, because they don't understand that entire world is a property of Krishna. So it should be utilized in his service. So there is a principle, the Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Yat Kincha Jagatam. So this is the Ishopanishad first verse, which tells us about Krishna's position. So everything in this world which is animate or inanimate is controlled. First thing is he is the master. Control means he has to be master. Owned by it. And he has also given the quota also. It's not that he has not given. So whatever we have a quota, we should utilize that for that only and not accept anything which is another quota. So that is Ishavasya principle. So that is in detail for our Ishopanishad. So Prabhupada takes time to discuss what is happening in 1960, 1960-70, capitalists and communists. And but when there is no Krishna, then all these philanthropic activities have no value. But if you put Krishna, then even in politics also well beneficial. So Krishna comes, then what happens? It is a complete purificatory process. And we also what we do? Food for life. It is a philanthropic activity. But what we do? We give prasad. Hospital, we have hospitals. But we care for body also, but give spiritual care also. So if we put Krishna in the center, and Prabhupada wanted that we should have a political party. I mean, a president should be devotee. So that's how the things work. So that is Atyahar. So if you can see the problem and solution, then it can be, we can stay away from Atyahar. Prayas. One should increase endeavor to satisfy Krishna only. If that endeavor is not for this, then it will be only for the purpose of satisfying our artificial need, our paraphernalia. Man only needs what? Anna Vasra Nivara, or what? Food, shelter and clothing. But whatever he earns, a little can do with fulfill these needs. But his paraphernalia is so big or so expensive that he has to work more for that paraphernalia. Like very big house or in a very posh area, he has to work hard. So that is under prayas. So Prabhupada writes that if a man wants to live happily, then he can live if he has some land and cow. So cow can give a
Milk.
milk, and with the land he can grow the crops. That can solve all economic problems. But fortunately, unfortunately, man has given this higher intelligence for entire time he can utilize for
Krishna.
God consciousness, for understanding God. But that doesn't mean that we start living primitive way of life. The people say, "Oh, I'm born rich. How can I go again back to village and do all this?" No need. The sense we have to think uh, plain living and high thinking. That whatever my lifestyle is there, I should utilize. I should work only for keeping my body and soul together. That maintenance, not anything extra. And whole time should be utilized for purifying our consciousness, serving Krishna. Because human life is not meant for sense gratification, but for self-realization. The first step is Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Till that time, we are all animals only. Getting a one, just like Prabhupada once met Mr. Sethi first time. Mr. Sethi is a devotee, but before meeting him, first time when he met Prabhupada asked him, "Who are you?" "Okay, so I'm a businessman." He said, "What do you do the whole day?" He said, "I get up, I brush my teeth, I have my breakfast, I go to office." So Prabhupada said, "So even pigs do that in a different way." What is the difference? I mean, what is the big deal? He was really shocked. He said, "He's a guru. He's my guru. He's teaching me what is the human life meant for. It is for self-realization. We have to do all these things for bodily maintenance, but that is not the whole and sole purpose of human life. To do it a better way. Animals do it in a primitive way, but if you are doing the same thing in a very posh way, so that is animalistic act. So that prayas will be a detrimental for us, for our progress. That's why should be so. Prajalpa we have already seen, unnecessary talking. Still we see that even devotees, we see, they meet, what they do? Prajalpa. Krishna chhod ke baaki sab chalte. Because we are born and raised in that way. The happiness comes by talking about different people other than Krishna. Those who are not there, we get pleasure in discussing about his faults and his or her faults. That is our nature. So that should be stopped. Otherwise, it is like a croaking toad. If we must talk about Krishna. So Prabhupada, Radhanath Swami Maharaj once was giving lecture, he says that if you happen to enter in a group and there is a prajalpa and they invite you, you run away from there. And they say, or somebody comes to you and, "Arey, have you heard about this or that?" Then what you do? You tell him, better, you are my friend, but don't kill my bhakti. And even if still he doesn't listen and, "Arey, listen to me, this is very fresh," then start running from him. This much seriously we should take to Prajalpa. Prajalpa actually kills or drains the sanchay in the sense, all day what we do, japa, reading, hearing, we are collecting or all the, what do you call that, rasa, spiritual rasa, gunas in our heart. And what we do, Prajalpa, through Prajalpa we drain that. And again we become dry. Why? How will this happen? So Prajalpa is very detrimental. Examples Prabhupada writes, reading newspaper, magazine, novels is also Prajalpa. Solving crossword puzzle, or these all activities they comes in frivolous, as a frivolous activity. Bungee jumping. So many. So playing cards, fishing, watching television, debates about useless socio-political schemes. Kaun aayega, kya nahi aayega. These are all comes under Prajalpa. You can, this is what
Let's do that.
नहीं तो ऊपर से उसको बंद भी कर.
Famous fan speak.
Okay, so this comes under, so this वो उसको ऊपर से बंद करना पड़ता है.
अच्छा, switch it.
नहीं, he'll do that. uska switch. So this is Prajalpa. So Prabhupada write all these and other frivolous activities, this should be stopped. Next come Jana Sangha. So the Jana Sangha we have seen who are Janas here. So Prabhupada write three kinds of. अरे हाँ इसको थोड़ा ये करो अभी वो खोलो उसके अंदर वो ग्रीन स्विच है हाँ उसको हाथ पुरता है आपका ऊपर से हाँ Hare Krishna. So Jana Sangha means associating with the person who have no interest in Krishna consciousness. So there are again these three categories are characterized by these activities. Bhukti kamis means sense enjoyer. Who are interested in material happiness. They are sense enjoyer. What are they? Bhukti means they have a desire. Any desire. I wish that I get the Singapore trip. ऐसा कुछ desire. That is the bhukti kami. I mean anything. Mukti kamis means Mayavadis, those who desire liberation by merging in existence of Krishna, Brahman. So they are mukti kamis. See, why even liberation is come under Jana Sangha? Somebody would say, Arey, liberation everybody wants. Why liberation? So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that this kind of liberation which Mayavadis want, this is a suicide in the sense, just as discussed before. Brahman means there is no association with Krishna. You are pure soul. Aham Brahmasmi means you also become Brahman means you are soul. You have no this stool body and sukshma body in the sense the body made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, or mind, intelligence, and ego. All you have relinquished by your intelligence and by the Vedic method. We have seen practice. The Mayavadis are very austere people. In Himalayas we see so many people, they don't eat, but their goal is to achieve this Brahman, where there is no body, because body is a cause of all trouble. What trouble? Three troubles. When body is not there, there is no problem. But that's why but because there is no activity or service to Krishna, it is suicide. That's why it comes in Jana Sangha. We should not associate with them. Because what we want, what Bhakta wants, whether in material world or spiritual world, what they want? Seva. That's why they are Jana Sangha. Don't associate with them. Siddhi Kami are those. Sorry.
Philosophy of Brahma Kumari.
We'll see that later. Brahma Kumari. Later. Siddhi Kamis. Then there may be name Brahma, but their philosophy is different. That is not this thing. Huh? So we have already talked Mayavadi and Brahmavadi. Brahmavadi is like Shukdev Goswami, Chatush Kumar, they have understanding about Brahman only, that body is a problematic thing. But they have no knowledge about Krishna and no offensive attitude about Krishna. But with the association of Narad Muni, Chatush Kumar somehow got into Vaikuntha. I mean, they are liberated people. They can go anywhere. But first time when they saw Vishnu, they became Bhakta. And the Shukdev Goswami also, when he heard Bhagavatam from Vyasdev, he got attracted to the qualities of Krishna. So I want to become his servant, like that. So but Mukti Kami, Mayavadi will never, they have nothing to, they want, how can I get rid of this body? Aham Brahmasmi, that's it. No Krishna. And Krishna is actually Brahman. He has no body. That is their problematic. I mean, the sense, offensive to Krishna. Because he is Satchidananda Vigraha and Brahman is his effulgence. Okay? Siddhi Kamis are those who are doing mystic yoga. I mean, dhyana yoga practice and so many austerities. That way, they get so many perfections. Like Siddhi Kami means there are so many, I mean, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu will see that Prapti Siddhi. That means by sitting somewhere, you can get anything from any part of the world. That is a Siddhi. So will it not attract us to live in this world with any Siddhi? Suppose we are sitting our Govinda's Harinam pizza. So what to worry, isn't it? So that comes in Jana Sangha. To associate with these people is undesirable. Because they have nothing to do with Krishna. Why will this person need Krishna
Because
in
it's
the
not
material?
much.
Because he already is getting everything. But he'll have to become old, diseased, and die. That he doesn't understand. That's why again Narottam Das Thakur says, devotee means with the association of other devotees. Otherwise, there is no, he can't progress only. Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Janevasi. And without serving devotees, there is no progress at all. It's on the mental plane. I am chanting alone. I don't need any association. It's on a mental plane. Third thing, just as materialistic person, they need what?
Love.
Some association. When they progress, the stock exchange people, they want, "Arey, kya ho raha hai?" Then they understand and they progress. Similarly, Prabhupada writes, we have created this iskcon society for whom? To those people, to give, to entire population, an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna, means devotee. There is a place, okay, you want to learn about Krishna, go there. You will, and you can associate with them, and then how to become a devotee of Krishna. So this is how, if you want to avoid this Janasangha, then you should have Satsanga. If you are not in Satsanga, then you are in a Janasangha. So Niyam Agraha, we will finish. The Niyam Agraha we have already seen. Then eagerness to accept for the benefit only. There is no heart in it. That is Niyam Agraha. Is also unfavorable. And Niyam Agraha means just for the rejecting everything. And he says, why I need bhaktas? I will do myself. This is whimsical attitude. One devotee said to Prabhupada, why I am doing this? He was in Vrindavan. I am doing this seva building, counting cement bags and all. I am here to chant Hare Krishna. 192 rounds. Prabhupada said, I am saying, I am your spiritual master. You do this. He said, no, Prabhupada, I will chant. I can chant like Haridas Thakur. So he left, chanted for 2-3 months and then vanished. Because you can't do that. You need Guru's mercy. So Prabhupada said, your progress will depend on how many cement bags are there. Count daily and chant 16 rounds and everything. Not 192 rounds. So that is how Niyam Agraha. Agraha means giving up rules and regulations. So those who are interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic development. Sometimes people do, "Arey, bhakti karne se apna ye status badhega." For all this comes under the Niyam Agraha. Niyam Agraha or Agraha. Agraha means following for some benefit. They should strictly follow the rules and regulations, avoiding these 4 pillars of sinful activity. So that is the only way. Laulyam comes in. So desire to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga. That is Laulyam. Means get Siddhi. We just had a talk. Siddhi is a Laulyam. Just imagine there are several Siddhis. Ashta Siddhis. So entire life will go. So that is comes in Laulyam. Merging in existence of Brahman. That is also Laulyam. In fact, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says it is the biggest sense gratification. What? To achieve Brahman. Only for, for Mayavadis. Achieving Brahman because there is no seva. Sense gratification. So attaining whimsical material prosperity are all included with the category of greed. whimsical in the sense you can live happily with something sufficient comforts, but you said, no, I want big parapet. That also comes in low level. All these attempts to acquire such material benefits or so-called spiritual advancement are impediments on the path of Krishna consciousness. So these are first is given what should not be done. What are the unfavorable activities? If we do that, then we can progress. Okay. So today we are going very slow actually, but we should be deep into the philosophy. Okay. So we'll end here.